finally some good news. There's a delayed ship currently anchored in the bay, actually, outside Melbourne, and looks like we are gonna get on it. It's been a lot of organisation to make it happen in the last week, and I'm just heading down to Medallia now to grab some slings, because this morning we got to go back to Straight Link and pick up the keel and load it onto a flat rack, which is basically just the footprint of a container, a hard surface, and easier for cranes to pick up and load. So we've got to put the keel onto that, and then I'm waiting to hear when we might be able to load the boat. Hopefully not too distant future. We've had a bit of luck on the shipping. There's a ship that's delayed that we've managed to get a place on, so I am just here back at Straight Link, getting ready to pack the keel onto a flat rack so it can be loaded onto the ship when it's ready. It's a final trip then down the Yarra. Today is the day that we leave Melbourne, that has been so kind to me since dismasting over 2 months ago. So we're just transiting down the Yarra River. There's a bit more wind than I was hoping. The boat's pretty difficult to control with no keel when there's wind like this. There's the docks behind me. I've got volunteers helping me on the boat, as well as a videographer from the documentary crew. And the Royal Brighton have loaned us a rib again, and we've got more volunteers over there. Just everyone kind of making sure they get rid of me, I guess. I'm not happy about this wind, but hopefully it will go smoothly. A little bit nervous, but we've just got to do our best. We are alongside our ship, waiting to be hooked up. It's quite nerve-wracking, actually. This is it. We've tested to make sure it's level, done 2 trial pickups. It's time to get off. I got on a flight the night we shipped the boat, and it's now Wednesday morning, and I couldn't be in a more different place than Melbourne. It's -1 degree and Poole Harbour is thick fog. I'm out for a run, and actually some incredible solitude here. You can just hear the birds, and yeah, it's good thinking time. So straight back onto it. Mission, find a sponsor. There's a lot of work to do. I need some energy. I need to work on my fitness. Time to power on through. It's incredible how kind of diverse my work is, and you've got to rapidly kind of change your skill set, change your approach day by day. And straight back into the thick of it today. So I've had a lot of meetings catching up with the team about funding, about how we're going with sponsorship, about next steps with our racing program this morning. And now I am just setting up for to be a guest on a panel discussion with Gallagher, the insurance company. So we're doing a kind of lunchtime online panel discussion with an IndyCar driver, me and a facilitator, and that's about risk management. So I'm just kind of setting up for that now. Just going to get changed and then straight into it. There it is. So I'm looking at multiple risks all of the time, and sometimes there are some things that happen where you must react. You must react in that split second. And rather, I don't like the intuition, kind of the intuition almost gives an impression that it's a sixth sense, but it's not. As you've said, Jill, it's based on experience. You know, I ask myself, I kind of split everything that needs to be done, I split it into three categories. Asking three major questions. Am I safe? Am I going in the right direction? Am I going as fast as I can? You're also in a race. You're in a race with 39 other competitors. And the risk is that if you take the safer option, if you take the route with less wind, if you choose to use a smaller sail, then what are you risking in terms of the competition? And one of the things I always think about and remind myself is, what am I going to lose? What am I at risk of losing if I choose to be more conservative, or to go a little bit slower, or take a different route here? It was a week ago today that we loaded onto the ship. I think currently it is the most watched cargo ship on the planet. It's the APL Savannah, if anyone's interested. Making its way back up the Atlantic. So it was going to Adelaide and then on to Europe. And it's actually incredible to think that, I mean, it seems like a year ago, you know, I've come back and so much has changed already. So many things have happened in the short space of a week. And actually, you know, I've done 2 online talks in the last week, and I think it's been quite helpful for me, and it's kind of like the proof of the pudding, because, you know, I quite often get asked to do talks about my life at sea, about how I deal with difficult circumstances, about kind of how I stay positive, how I keep my energy up, how I manage risk, how I become resilient, kind of all of those things, very much in reference to what my life is like on the water. But actually doing these talks kind of brings me back in a full circle, and it reminds me of the person that I need to make sure I still am on the land. And especially now, you know, we're in a hard bit. We're in a hard bit to move the team forwards, you know, trying to get the boat back, trying to reassemble it, trying to find sponsorship. You know, this is tough. And so kind of talking about my coping mechanisms and my strategies and my aids to performance on the water remind me that actually all of those things apply on the land. And I can do something every day to move things forwards, to kind of make our situation better. And I'm not alone on the land either. So yeah, it's been a crazy week. It has been a positive week. Yeah, my mind is now kind of starting to fire off in all different directions about what the future looks like for us, what we could achieve, what our next objectives should be. And that's quite fun to feel that energy and that potential again. So yeah, life on the land isn't too bad. I miss the ocean, but we just got to plug on.